Dude, she's on Florida Alliance.
Quick sound check. If anyone's watching, can you just give me a thumbs up or type a quick message in chat for me? I think I figured out my sound issues from yesterday is that they were connecting to the my headphones were connecting to the iPad that they were using, and then it was replaying the stream of what had already done. So there's my lesson learned on the technology yesterday. It's about to kick off here. We've got the third game of the JWHL Challenge Cup. Florida Alliance taking on New Jersey Colonials. Don't know what New Jersey's record has been, but Florida team had two tough back-to-back games yesterday. So only game for today, so they can leave it all on the ice. I'm upstairs in the quiet zone again. This rink's not exactly vantage point, but I think I can get that home corner down there okay. Yeah. Starting lineup for Florida, we'll have Visa and Comiskey on D. And I think we've got the line of Shell Golding and Anderson to start the game here. Feels way too quiet here talking to myself without the rink noise. All right. Face-off win by Florida. Back to Comiskey. Comiskey floats one up to Golding. She's going to tap that into the New Jersey zone. That comes straight back out. Comiskey over to Visa. Visa gets the puck back. She puts that up the boards to Anderson. Anderson, quick one over to Comiskey. Golding. She's upended on that play. New Jersey back. They're going to dump it in and go for a change. The rim. Okay, that corner's still pretty hard to see. Florida throws that back. Weak side stretch to Colonials. They can't quite enter the zone properly. Let's switch sides and try again. That gets rimmed around to Muncie. Muncie pops that out to Visa. Visa's got some space to skate. He's going to throw one towards the direction of the net, and the goalie just steers that aside. Muncie over to Pugh. Pugh gets put into the boards. New Jersey coming back. Shin pads. Humphreys floats that out to neutral zone. A broken stick or neck guard on the play. I think that's a neck guard. Pugh back to retrieve. Over to Visa. She reverses that back to Pugh. Official's foot gets in the way, though, and he has to retreat to her own net. Visa comes around, one touch out to Humphreys from Muncie. Poposky on playing on the wing here today. She's going to throw that into New Jersey zone while her teammates go and change. Quinto putting some pressure on New Jersey. That comes deep in the zone. Pugh back. Quick reverse to Ceballos, I'm assuming. Ceballos looking for Quinto stretching. The Colonials throw that straight back in. Still behind the net. New Jersey comes up top. Player gets around Quinto coming in the middle. You had that player on the back door tied up and I think had her stick. So the open net did close call there. But Bayos takes a player under the boards. They come back to the point. Bayos stops that one before it gets to, I think Leach is in net here today. But recognize the pads, and that's going to go down for an icing all the way. 13:42 left in the first, still scoreless. Face-off win, back to Comiskey. Comiskey's pass attempt deflected up by New Jersey. That's going to go all the way down for another icing and come back for a face-off. I think that was Shell or Anderson trying to chip that out, but a little bit too much mustard on it. Face-off win by the Colonials. Back up the point. Shot deflected. Puck still loose and bouncing around in front. Anderson going to throw that to the boards. Colonials come up with the puck and walk off the wall. Shot attempt. Deflected by Visa. Anderson looking for Golding up there. Golding knocks that puck in off the stick of the Colonials defender. Shell into support. Still battling on the boards there. Shell and Golding / Anderson. New Jersey floats a player high behind the D, but Visa picks that pass off. Up to Anderson. Anderson dropped for Golding. Golding tries to dance around a player, gets poke checked. Colonials up the wall. Quick touch to their center. They chip that around Comiskey. Walking out weak side D, throws one way wide of the net. Anderson managed to pick that up. She's got some space, but she's swarmed by players. She throws it right on net, which may be the first shot of the game for Florida, I think. Maybe not. But not a dangerous one for sure. So that brings Humphreys, Muncy, Poncer, with Pugh and Ceballos on D. Try to throw that back to the D, but gets intercepted. New Jersey floating that player high again. Back to Pugh. Pugh back over to Ceballos. Up the wall to Poncer. Poncer chips that back. Humphreys picks it up. That gets poke checked back to Muncy. Muncy battling for it. She gets it back to Ceballos. Ceballos to Muncy on the half wall. Back over. And I think they're calling an interference call on New Jersey here. I didn't see the actual penalty, but that'll bring out a power play attempt with 11-11 in the first period. Face-off win by Colonials. I'm going to try to rim that wide and out, and that works. Puck goes down the ice. Play back. Colonials get control of things. Golding behind the net. Visa up to Anderson. Anderson over to Golding. And I guess that was offsides on the play. 10:42 left, 1 minute 30. Saw the official go into the scorekeeper, so I wasn't sure what the situation was, but it just appears to be an offside play. Face-off win back to Comiskey, over to Visa. Yeah. Visa back behind her own net. She goes up high to Anderson. Over to goal. Sorry, that was the shell. Back to Anderson. Visa. Golding. Golding pitches that back. Over the left side. Back up high to Visa. Golding on the half wall. Maybe get something towards the net here. Comiskey up to Visa. Back to Comiskey. Golding had to take that on her backhand, so couldn't get a shot away. Golding with a shot right in the chest of the goaltender. So they'll make a few player substitutions with 40 seconds left in this power play. Puck tied up. Visa back to retrieve that. Goes to Pugh. She goes rink wide to Golding. Golding toe drags around the player, but can't quite get in net front. And Golding keeps getting hit on her backhand, and Colonials pop that out. Visa shakes off two players. She brings the puck in. She's looking for, that was Anderson driving the net. Puck comes back to Pugh. Pugh drives that and dishes it off to Visa, but puck held in. Pugh gets it right before it comes out of the blue line. Puck turned over on the forecheck, and Muncie keeps that in deep. Quinto looking for it. Colonials up the middle. Again, looking to float that player behind the D there. The puck picked off. Colonials regroup. Send that one up the middle. Ceballos there to challenge it. Visa reverse to Ceballos. Ceballos is going to go off the glass out all the way to Quinto, who's got Muncie streaming there. Good pass, wide open. Muncie can't quite handle it. And good pass for Quinto to hit Muncie wide open. Can't see who that is on the board. There's great play by Poncer coming in at the collect that rebound. Florida goes up 1-0 with 7:41 left in the first period. Face-off win by Colonials, and they get it in the end, but Florida recovers that. Held in by the Colonials defender. Pugh behind her net. She's looking for Ceballos, but that pops over her stick. They're going to chip that in. Poncer on the forecheck again. Nice little knockdown. There, Popovsky up on the wall. That comes back. Colonials regroup. They're going to throw it in deep. Pugh takes the player down behind the net. Aquino to pick up. She gets tied up. Colonials back to their own point, back down on the half wall. Contested there. This Park goes behind her own net to Pugh. Pugh goes up to, I think it's Popovsky. I can see. Saved by Leach. Blocker save. And Ceballos is going to throw that all the way down to get a line change here. 6:14 left in the first period. Face-off win. Lisa rims that around. Goalie chips that out. They get in over the blue line. Shell with the puck, dishes that back to Comiskey. Still two players pressuring her. Puck pops out to her, high slot. Just throws it in for Anderson. Anderson on the reverse hit, but puck stays there. Quick offside play, but the Colonials bring that out quick. Can't see what's going on. Florida's got Comiskey loses his stick. But Pugh's got to jump out in replacement. They quick equipment exchange to get her glove on. Anderson grabs the puck, turns that back, but gets tied up. That comes back. Colonials look up the middle. Visa wheels behind her own net. He's bringing that up. Looking for a quick dish out front to Humphreys. That goaltender holds on to it. 4:47 left in the first. Humphreys in the face-off. Poncer and Muncie finishing off that line. Puck goes back to Pugh. Pugh rips one. Goaltender holds on to that and sucks that up. So we'll start again from the right side of the Colonials goaltender. Face-off won by the Colonials this time. They're going to wheel behind their own net. And up. As Pewter recovers, just going to chip that to the wall. Colonials looking for their D, but they went for a change. That goes all the way back into their own end. They stretch that to the weak side, but can't quite enter the zone. Popovsky brings the puck in. She's got some space. She rips one high and wide. It'll play by Ceballos to pop around that player, but that gets tied up on the wall. Still digging for it. Ceballos actually came up with the puck, but it gets chipped right back out. Pugh quick over to Iaquinto. Colonials recover, looking for a player. I think that will be an icing there. They couldn't quite get a stick on it. And it'll go down into the Colonial zone with 3:28 in the first. Face-off win. Shell goes back to Visa. Goalie looking to try to get around the player, but she's defended. Held in at the point. Golding straight back to Visa. Down to Golding on the half wall. She's looking for Anderson. That gets popped out. Comiskey right on it to avoid a 2-on-1 there. Reverse to Visa. Up to Anderson. Anderson to goal, and she's going to poke that past the defender. Jockey for it in the corner. Tied up behind the net. That comes out to Anderson with a quick backhand. The goaltender turns aside. Comiskey floats that down low. Comes off the boards straight to a Colonials player, and they're on the rush. They got 3-on-2 coming in. Pass broken up by Visa's skate. Visa back behind her own net. She turns back. Comes off the half wall. Golding can't quite handle that pass. And Jersey goes weak side. Drops it back. Player's shot. Misses the mark. High and wide. Muncie picks that up. Humphreys picks that out. They get a 3-on-2 coming the other way with one back checker. Muncie turns that back, but straight to a Colonials player. They have to go over a few times, but they'll pick it up on the half wall. Back to Pugh, mid-ice. Pugh turns that back to Ceballos. Ceballos quick up to Poncer. Poncer can't float that in. Humphreys, Ceballos. Over to Pugh. Playing a little keep away in the neutral zone. Ceballos goes back to Pugh in her own zone. Doing a good job of possession, but possession not in the right spot. When they get this working in the offensive zone. Pugh up to Anderson. Anderson tries to float that low. Pugh steps out and gets tripped, and that's going to be a penalty for our power play coming towards Florida with a penalty to the New Jersey for tripping. They have Golding, Shell, and Iaquinto with Visa and Pugh. Trying to get something going as power play. 20 seconds left, or 19 seconds left in the period. Good look from Visa to Shell. That comes off her stick, though. And the Colonials will float that out to neutral ice to end the period here. So after one, Florida up by a score of 1-0. Florida will have 1 minute and 41 seconds left in a power play. After a quick pep talk by the coaches. And my goalie dad with the shot stats here. Just so you know, the smell I'm having to endure to bring you this game, the sheer amount of concentrated hockey bags here. At least they got the industrial size fan going. But it does not smell great back in this room. I can guarantee you that. This makes it nice. Most of the teams and players are within walking distance, and some with even, they don't even have to exit outside for where this facility is in the mall here downtown Arlington. So pretty cool setup actually for this rink. Number 66 returns to the box for 1 minute and 41 seconds. And Florida will try to capitalize this power play attempt they've got. Probably Shell, Golding, Anderson, I'm guessing, and Visa and Comiskey out there to start the power play. With 17 minutes on the clock for the second. Face-off win. Golding puts that back to Visa. Visa's going to retreat behind her own net to get set up. Quick up to Comiskey and over to Shell. Shell's got some space to enter the zone. And drop that back to Golding. Golding back to Visa. Visa to Golding on the half wall. Visa top middle. Over to Comiskey. Over wide. Got to get a shot on, girls. Visa down low for a tip. Puck still loose, and that goes in. Anderson steals that rebound from the goalie. Chips one by. 16-17 in the second. For Florida go up 2-0 on the power play goal. Official quick check to teach the timekeepers how to use the clock. Face-off win by New Jersey. I'm going to chip that back up the boards. Looking for a centering pass, but Poncer intercepts that. Muncie's got Poncer all alone. Colonials get a stick on it and pops out dangerously in front of the net. They're able to transition back. Hugh back to retreat. Rims it to Poncer. Poncer goes high and chip off the boards. It comes out to the neutral zone with New Jersey to recover. They had player right up the middle, but no path there. Shot wide by New Jersey. Back up to the point. They're going to throw it down, low cycle. Straight out in front, it sticks in the way. New Jersey has to retreat to the regroup in the neutral zone. They chip that in deep. Ceballos to recover. And Jersey gets there first. New Jersey looking for their defender, but turns that back. Muncie's going to get checking from behind or roughing or interference. Let's see what they call it here. She took a girl in from behind. I don't know, I think they just call that body checking penalty. So that'll give New Jersey their first power play opportunity of the game. 15 minutes left in the second. Still scrambling for the puck. New Jersey comes up with it. They set up high over the right side. Back up top. Innocent shot turned aside by Leach. They go back up the horn. It's a shot blocked by Comiskey there, and she's battling for it. They get tied up in the corner. Shell Anderson with a chip pass, and she's got a line straight to the net, but New Jersey players all scurry back to thwart that. 1:17 left in the penalty to Muncie. New Jersey enters the zone. A couple Florida players there. They're going to chip that out to the neutral zone. They throw that in. That one's going to be on net and count as a shot. Looking for something in the center. Shell can't hold on, but that comes straight to Comiskey. Puck bounces. She goes up to Anderson, and Anderson just deflects that in. So they get some fresh legs out. Looking for a stretch pass. Humphreys gets a stick on that. Jersey back in with 24 seconds remaining in the penalty. And Jersey up top. They go to the left flank, back up top, right flank. Shot blocked. Jersey looks for something off the half wall. And penalty expires. Muncie back out to be 5-on-5. Another block. Comiskey's got a couple of saves here on this on the penalty kill. She goes over to Visa. Visa turns back and has to turn back again. She puts it up to Poncer. Visa puts that out Muncie. Muncie can't quite get a clean handle on it, but she's got Visa streaking for her, just ahead of Visa, the stick of Visa. So Colonials bringing up the ice. Poncer with a good. Pugh's got some space here. Nice drop pass. Ooh. Shot by Anderson goes to, or Shell, sorry. Shell and Anderson have the same hairstyle. I keep mixing them up, so. Same hairstyle, same mask. Pugh with a nice little tip down, but that goaltender gets a pad on it. Colonials on a chance. Right off the mask of Leach. That comes straight out. 2-on-1 opportunity here. Shell and Golding. Golding takes that shot. Looking for high right glove side, and that goes wide. Ceballos back down the half wall. I think to Golding. The Colonials bring that back. They're going to chip that around Ceballos. Pugh back to contest that. Puck comes out. Pugh shifts around, but a pass attempt gets blocked. Puck comes back to her. She's quick over to Ceballos. Up the wall to Iaquinto. She takes it off the skate. A few missed. Pugh's going to look and fire at the length of the ice. That'll be an icing call at. They stopped the clock at 10:37 left in the second period. Score is still 2-0 for Florida Lions. We'll have Popovsky, Iaquinto, and who just took the faceoffs? Is that Park, I think. Visa tied up, sticks up high. Comes up Comiskey. Nice little backhand by Popovsky up to Iaquinto, just a little bit too far for her. Visa holds that in. Back to Visa. She goes down the wall again. Poski battling for it. She's going to. Kaniski stops that one. Comes off the wall. New Jersey pass had a player wide open with a full lane to the net, but just ahead, and that's going to be an icing. Head back to the Colonials zone for a face-off to the left of the goaltender with 9:46 left in the second. Humphreys take this face-off. That gets one straight back. A little set play broken up by shin pad of Comiskey there. They had a player flying on that weak side. There's a chance now in the rush. Shot by Visa. Hits a stick of the New Jersey player. Poncer brings that in, looking for a centering pass, but can't quite get that through. Colonials look to the middle. Comiskey throws that back up, and Poncer's going to get that puck in deep. Anderson in off the bench on the forecheck. Colonials get that out of their own zone. Visa up to Anderson at the blue line. She's going to chip that by the player. Puck rims the boards. Few pinches in on that, but they chip that around. Ceballos and Golding back to retrieve the puck. Golding tied up there. Can't get her stick quite free. Ceballos a little slips by and then reverses that. Pugh's going to pick that up. She tips that back to Anderson. Over to Ceballos and up to Golding. Rink wide, Golding to Pugh. Pugh again's space. Pugh rips one, turned aside by the blocker of the New Jersey goalie. They retreat into their own zone at the 8-minute mark of the second. Ceballos plugs that gap in the wall up, but manages to get out. Dangerous little situation there with Pugh pinching up and two players floating down, but they managed to keep that pressure off. Pugh takes a shot off the ankle. A little stinger. Chance for New Jersey up high, but they can't quite hold on to the puck, but that player wide open, high slot. So that was Shell on the forecheck, getting things disrupting the New Jersey breakout. And I think Anderson's going to get a hooking penalty here for some overly aggressive stick work. Florida still hasn't touched a delayed penalty. Goaltender out of the net. They've got to retreat all the way back into their own zone. Comiskey's going to get that whistle, force that whistle. So they're high sticking penalty for Anderson on that forecheck to send the Colonials to power play for the second time this game with 6:34 left in second period. Face-off win by New Jersey, straight back to their point. They're going to work it around up top, looking for a shooting lane. Shot through, I think there was a tip by number 15 to go 5-hole on Leach. And New Jersey draws within one here at 6:16 in the second. 2-1, Florida up. Muncie, Humphreys, and Poncer. It's a forward line with Comiskey and Visa. Quick face-off win by New Jersey, and they're right back at it on the rush. Misses the puck. Muncie looking for Poncer up the middle. New Jersey managed to hold that in. Visa with a tie-up. He's got her stick kind of trapped. New Jersey picks that up, throws it forward, and Comiskey brings the puck out. He's got some room to skate. He's going to take it wide, looking for centering potential. She goes around and back up to Visa. Shot blocked through, or pass blocked through a couple of shin pads there. So Comiskey retreats into her own zone. She goes far weak side Muncie. Muncie, a nice little backhand dish to Visa. Visa shot deflected, but that goes on net, and hit a little rebound attempt. New Jersey floating this player up high. Hugh takes that puck, stops behind her own net. She's going to come out and look for their own. That's going to be a high stick. Pugh looking for Muncie at the far blue line. So I think that'll go intentional high stick. That'll go all the way down to the New Jersey zone. 5:01 left in the second. I haven't quite put the Colonials goal up yet, but 2-1 in favor of Florida. That gets back Ceballos down the half wall. So New Jersey's got numbers. They're going to keep floating that player flying high. Ceballos to retrieve. She's going to rim that around, but Colonials player there to pick it up. Puck through the almost the crease there. Pugh picks that up and just pokes that out to Golding. Chip up to Anderson. Anderson at the blue line. May have put Shell offside by just slowing up a little bit there. 4:22 left in the second. Sale, Anderson, Golding, Pugh, and Ceballos. Puck comes to Pugh. Quick over to Ceballos. Up the wall to Shell. That comes out quick. Golding back in the neutral zone. She goes back to Ceballos. Ceballos looking for Shell on the half wall, but Colonials tie that up. Ceballos is going to go behind the net to Pugh. Pugh turns back. Ceballos. There's the angle's just off a little bit for Golding. That comes back to neutral zone and a quick reroute. Ceballos breaks up that play through the middle. Colonials hold on to it. Throw that deep around with Pugh to retrieve. Pugh goes up the middle to Anderson, but that deflects to a Colonials player. Anderson with the puck now. Little backhand chip over to Golding. Golding looking for a centering attempt, but no one there. Straight to New Jersey. New Jersey comes out. No interference on that play from little hit by Park. I guess they assumed that was incidental. Visa enters the zone. Shot from the big rebound. Straight to Poncer. She can't quite get that shot off. And Colonials on the rush with 3 minutes left in the second. Shot off pads of the Comiskey. New Jersey is going to cycle low behind the Florida net. Comiskey ties that up. Park in to assist. They come back up high and work that. Go back down low again. New Jersey with some room to skate here in the offensive zone. Comiskey with another blocked shot. He gets kind of pulled down from behind, and that is going to be offside. The player from New Jersey going for a change and doesn't quite get to the bench in time. So that'll bring Humphreys, Ponce, Muncie, I think. Or no, Popovsky. Oh, Ponce. He grabs that. Chips that back out on the backhand up to Ponce. Ponce trying to kick that forward up to Muncie. Muncie back to Pugh. Pugh to Ceballos. Pugh goes back. Gets tied up by a Colonials player. Ceballos is going to go behind her own net to Pugh. Pugh up the wall. Humphreys challenge there. She's got Ponce flying. Her centering pass. New Jersey comes out strong with numbers. They're going to float that in. Leach comes out to play the puck, but New Jersey retrieves it. Centering attempt. That was a great save by Leach on a redirect. They had her going left to right, and she had to pull the splits and reach back to get the save on that. So really nice save with 1:05 left in the second period. Face-off win by Florida. Anderson looking for center support, but Colonials there and bring that back. There's another block by Anderson. Golding picks up the puck and wheels her own net. She turns back. She's going to go off the glass, and that won't have enough to make it an icing. So 30 seconds left. Golding's just going to chip that back in, but that gets tied up on the wall. Shell in there trying to pick that puck out of the skates. 10 seconds left in the period, and that might be it in this scrum. Visa with a quick chance. Oh, good backhand float down to Comiskey, but time runs out to get a chance to score. So the teams will go to the locker room after two, with Florida leading 2-1. I will mute this for a while and be back after a nice All right, we're back and ready to kick off this final period of play between New Jersey and Florida. Florida up by 2-1 to start the third. Face-off win. Back to Visa. Visa puts that to Comiskey. Comiskey quick up to Golding. Golding enough of a touch to ward off the icing. Anderson cycles that back. Going with the puck, but got a couple players on her. Anderson comes in for support. Golding looking for Comiskey on the other side D, and that's going to go all the way back into the zone. Leach plays that up high, but Colonials steal that. Quick touch to Golding. She drops back to Shell. Shell digging for the puck. Comes out to Anderson with that looking for Visa. And Colonials again in the way. Shell's teammates go for a change. She keeps the puck. Sends that to Visa down low. Visa behind the net to Muncie. Back down low to Visa. Centering pass. Poncer. That goes off a skate, but hard shot. Pew keeps that in. The Visa. Colonials back. A 1-on-3. Kind of a dangerous shot. Almost goes off the... Leach just gets a piece of it with her catcher. Back up high. Low shot. Visa stops that one. Chips that out. Just past Humphreys to Poncer, and Poncer's going to throw that in. Muncie steals a forecheck. Tries a quick wraparound. 3 Colonials players give her a stick to the face or glove to the face for her efforts there. Pew keeps that in. Muncie, high slot, shot, puck loose still. And Jersey goaltender manages to find it and cover it up at 14:37 left in the third period. They'll bring out Park, Iaquinto, and Popovsky with Pew and Ceballos. Shot back. Iaquinto's shot right off the face-off gets deflected by a set of shin pads. Quick out, and it's a 3-on-1. Luckily, puck just floats past, and Pew puts that up. Colonials right back at it. They move the puck quick, and Leach is going to have to cover that up to calm the pressure. Colonials come up the win, straight back the point, down the half wall. Pew reverses that, but it's a bit too far for Comiskey. Park behind the net to Pew, but that's picked off by a New Jersey player. Park retreats back, rims that around Iaquinto. Iaquinto, a nice little move around that player. That was Comiskey looking for Popovsky, but Quick poke check. Here comes Comiskey up the left side. She brings it in, tries to drag around, gets it behind the net. Puck still loose, and that is a wide open net. I guess that was Iaquinto pulled that loose puck out and had all the net in the world to put that in. Go up 3-1 with 13:20 left in the third period here. Shell told to go play wing by the referee. Face-off win. It's quick D to center. They pitch out, looking for a centering attempt. A couple sticks in the way, so that goes out to the neutral zone. New Jersey's going to rim that low. Colonials get there first. Pew up the wall to Golding, but that gets tied up by the New Jersey D. Pew with a bounce pass all the way over to Visa. Visa turns back off the pressure. High shot bounces wide. And puck finally comes out to Florida. They're going to just pitch that into the neutral zone. Visa almost gets there first. Humphreys puts that down low to, I can't see if that Anderson. Anderson tries a net drive. That gets blocked. Still in the New Jersey zone. Poncer on the pursuit. Turn that back, go to the middle. Loose puck there, but Colonials are going to chip that off the boards and out. Shot attempt. Wide, tied up in the corner by Visa. Visa sends that over to Comiskey. Comiskey off the glass, and that bounces out to neutral zone. Puck goes off sides, but then comes back out. Humphreys back. What's going on with my camera? Humphreys. Backhand chip up the wall, looking for Poncer. Comiskey steps into. She gets knocked down by a New Jersey player. Muncy comes off the wall with it. And puck comes back. Muncy gets poke checked. And the puck comes back to, I guess, is that Poncer? No, it's Dylan Popovsky. And bounces over the goaltender's shoulder. So Popovsky playing forward this game gets the fourth goal for Florida. Colonials in. Shot attempt again into the skates of Comiskey. Goes wide. Tied up in the corner. Colonials defender holds that puck in. They're battling for the puck on the boards. Finally drifts out into the neutral zone. Park tied up by a Colonials player. They get possession. Little miscommunication between Visa and Comiskey. Visa stops that puck, stops that pass from going through. New Jersey holds that in, rims that low. Comiskey takes player hard into the boards, but they hold onto the puck. Official helping out the Florida, blocking that low to high pass there. And Florida manages to get that deep into the zone. As Colonials come up on the rush. Pass attempt up the boards. I think Pugh went down to block the shot, and puck bounced off her leg and into the net there. The squeak one by Leach, and Colonials get a little bit closer with their second goal of the game, 4-2 with 9:33 left in the third. Face-off win, back Colonials. Their D dumps it in behind the net. Ceballos back to retrieve. Poked up the wall, but that gets tied up. Pugh puts that back to Ceballos. Ceballos looking up the wall for Anderson. That comes out. Florida can't seem to clear the zone there. Finally comes out to Golding. Golding takes that back. Three on two now. Coming back the other way for New Jersey. Shot gets deflected. They don't even make a pass attempt on that 3-on-2, and that goes high into the netting. And 8:40 left. That 4-2 score for the Lions. Bring out Humphreys, Muncy, and Poncer up front, and Comiskey and Visa. Face-off win. Colonials back. Shot blocked. Comes back to the point. They managed to keep it in. Colonials D on their holding that blue line really well. Poncer throws that deep through the neutral zone. Colonials retreat back into their own end. Quick regroup. They're going to skate that into the zone. Shot from a wide angle. Misses wide. Straight back. That's blocked by Muncy. Muncy picks that up. Quick over to Visa. Deflected by a Colonials player, and they're going to throw that back in. Leach turns that aside with their blocker. So they go for a change. Visa up to Muncy. Muncy's going to flip that high and wide. Doesn't have much to look at other than four Colonials players in front of her. So New Jersey goes straight up the middle, and that comes straight back in. Leach is just going to cover that up with 7:24 left in the third. They'll bring out Shell, Anderson, and Golding, and Ceballos and Pugh. The face-off to the right of Leach. Official having a little conversation with the timekeeper. It's the cause of the short delay here. But looks like we're ready to go again. Not exactly sure what is going on. No one's filling me in either, so it's left to our imagination. Face-off win back. Ceballos gets muscled off the puck by a New Jersey player. Hugh steals that puck out. Turns back behind her own zone. Backhand back to Ceballos. Ceballos goes up the wall, but the bounce doesn't quite happen. Hugh blocks that one off her shin pads, but it comes straight out to the point man, or point player for New Jersey, and shot right on that Leach covers up. Face-off win by Colonials. Straight back. Shot attempt off the skates. They pick it up in the corner and in wide. Pugh intercepts that, but then, ooh, dangerous. Leach manages to catch a piece of that. They're scrambling in front of the net. Block shot by, I think, Ceballos there. That goes off the glass. Anderson comes up with that puck. She tries to get by the New Jersey defender, and puck goes into the... We're going to get a penalty on that play. That one's in my blind spot, so I did not see what happened there, but by the sounds of it, it was a hit on the boards, and looks like Anderson's going to the box. Well, the referees are either discussing what the penalty is or what their evening plans might be. Body checking penalty to Anderson. 6:13 left in the third period, with Florida up by a score of 4-2. So New Jersey hasn't put much together on their previous power play attempts, but looking to get within one here with 6 minutes left. Working the umbrella, shot from high, looking for a tip, but that comes straight out. Humphreys is going to throw that the length of the ice. Haunts her with a quick loop. Colonials manage to enter the zone. Take a shot, turn aside. Shot from bad angle, turned aside by Leach. They still get it up high. Comiskey pressuring. That comes back to Visa. Visa going to try to go high off the glass, but it gets plugged up somewhere down there. Shot from the dots, right on. Colonials managed to hold it in on that clearing attempt. So working it up the left flank and all the way over cross ice. Comiskey with a little skate save. That gets sent the length of the ice. We'll get a new group of penalty killers out there. That's going to go all the length of the ice, and they're going to call that a icing. 32 seconds remaining in the penalty. 4:44 left in the third in the game. Face-off win. Pugh going to backhand chips that down the boards. Colonials finally managed to get it out of their zone through the neutral zone. Pugh poke checks that back. And a steal and some space here for Shell. She doesn't quite have the legs to get all the way. Oh, Pugh gets the rebound and sends that wide. Colonials right back into the Florida end as the time expires on the penalty. Shot just to the wide side of Leach. That's tied up behind the net here. I don't know if it's on the net. Puck comes out centering. Straight to Anderson. She's going to throw that the length of the ice and get a new lineup of troops out there for at 3:35 left in the third. That'll bring out Humphreys, Poncer, and Muncy. Shot deflected on. Leach has to make a slight adjustment to make that save and covers it up. Face-off win back to Comiskey. Comiskey rims that around to Muncy. Muncy with a lumberjack chop to get that out to the neutral zone. And that was picked up by Poncer. Comiskey tries to throw it back in, but still off sides, and Colonials back on the attack. Looks like we've got Leach to the bench. I did not see what the body checking penalty assigned to New Jersey here with 2:54 left. So Florida will go to the power play for the last 2/3 of this game. Face-off win back to Visa. She pitches that off to Golding. They switch. Golden looking to try to get a shot through the middle. Visa recovers. Back up. Looking for the bumper player. Off a couple different skates, and New Jersey's going to send that all the way down the ice. Puck back to Visa behind her own net. That goes Shell up to Golding, and she's going to bring it in and set things up. Up top, over to Comiskey. New Jersey gets a stick on that pass and almost interrupts that. Comiskey sat down with the puck in her feet. Shell has to bring that back out to Visa. 50 seconds left remaining in the penalty. Visa up to Pugh. Pugh goes rink wide. And I can't tell if that's Shell or Anderson. The New Jersey goaltender holds on. 30 seconds remaining in the penalty, 1:25 remaining in the game. Face-off win, clean from Shell. It's back to Visa. Goaling trying to go rink wide to Pugh. Colonials player beats her to the puck and throws that in deep and then ties up Visa. Visa up to Pugh. Pugh's got a straight line all the way down. Nice drop pass. Quinto looking for Golding there on the back door. Penalty expired. New Jersey puts it straight up to player out of the box. 45 seconds left. Golden retreats behind her own net, rims that up. Lisa turns that back. She's going to go wheel her net and put it to the middle to Humphreys. Humphreys just going to chip that through the neutral zone with 30 seconds remaining. Jersey with a centering attempt. Leach has to cover that one up with 15 seconds remaining in the game. We've got a little clock situation here. For some reason, there's now... Okay, they've reset the clock to 18 seconds. So, quick win. Didn't see who that was. That was Comiskey gets a stick on that. And Jersey gets that's a shot on net turned aside. I'm going to try to tie that up on the boards and run the clock out here. Ooh, it's a little bit of fisticuffs being thrown there. I don't know if there's actual punch thrown, but definitely some gloves in the face. I'm going to send... there was 2 seconds left, but it says 0.9 on the clock. I'm going to send both players to the box for whatever reason. Comiskey just is headed towards the ice, and they're just going to call the rest of that. No need to play that final second and potentially have tempers flare. So win by Florida Lions by a score of 4-2 here, and we'll keep you posted as far as when the next games are, because I don't think anyone knows. So this might be it for today. And we'll see what happens. And I think with the two losses to start, you're automatically, there's no way you can kind of move on. So you're in the consolation round. So we'll see who line up to play.